Hi everyone. Let's work in our journals together. This is my winter junk journal, and I will link the videos here of me making this journal. First off, I want to say thank you to all of my returning viewers. I am glad you are coming back and watching my newer videos. I also appreciate all my subscribers, the long-term subscribers and the new ones. You really keep me motivated to create new content and new videos. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to do so you won't miss out. One of my goals for 2022 was to do more creative journaling in my journals. I'm pretty good at writing in my journals, but the actual decorating, if you will, I seem to not make time for. So today's video is me working on this goal. One thing I've done to try to help me decorate more is I've gathered up a bunch of papers, scraps, ephemera, washi tapes, etc. that I thought I would like to use in this journal and made a kit, so to speak. And my logic is if I have all of this at the ready, then it will enable my journal, it will enable me to decorate in my journal more. You can see here I am using some packing paper, and I am framing out the background of my page with this packing paper, just that I'd gotten in a package that I received. And I really like the sound of it and the crinkly noise that it makes. And I love the color. I think it's a good base to start with for a background. I'm really trying to not overthink my decisions and kind of go with the flow here. I have several different papers that I am going to look at and choose from. I have this paper here that's from Daiso, and I think that's really pretty. I also have this tea-dyed music paper, vintage music paper, and I think that is also a great use for a background on a page. And so I'm just kind of tearing this up, and I'm going to just kind of play with how I want to arrange things on the background for this page. It's been really cold here in Louisville, and where my head space is as I'm working in here is just thinking about trying to stay warm, stay indoors. We've had snow a couple times over the last couple weeks, and with this opposite page having the evergreen branches and pine cones, it has me kind of thinking about, trying to stay warm and get through this cold winter. I wanted to ink up the edges of this music paper, and I'm using walnut stain. I really like that. I also use vintage photo a lot, and my vintage photo is getting dried up, so I've switched over to my walnut stain till I get a re-inker. Now this next page, this is a bridge scorecard, tally card, score sheet. And this is one from my mom. And yeah, she used to play bridge I think twice a month. And they would rotate having it at each other's house. And I loved when they had bridge at our house, because we'd always have the Brock's candy and treats and stuff like that. So I'm really loving that I have that from her stash. So yeah, as I was pulling all my stuff together, I have it on shelves in these clear containers, and I've showed that to y'all before. But pulling it into this kit really kind of made it a whole lot easier for me. I was able to make decisions quicker and pick from the items without getting too overwhelmed. Now here is another tea-stained item. This is a paper doily, and again I'm inking that up as well, and I'm going to put that on the page. And I'm working on kind of leaving that kind of center to the right blue or green section of the page open because I'm thinking about doing some journaling there. So that's kind of where my head is at this point. So I'm really trying to decide if I like how the background is, trying to figure out the layout, seeing if there's any last little pieces I want to add for the background. And I go back to this green and gold paper from Daiso, and I think, yeah, this, I want to add a strip of this or a piece of this on the page. So I work on adding that and trying to figure out exactly how I want to kind of wrap up this background page. So you can kind of see me go through the process as I try several different pieces and see what I settle on. I start pulling in a few different pieces of ephemera and laying them down in different spots and see if I like any of those. Nothing is really jumping out at me at this point. Still kind of pondering and looking for that look that speaks to me. I have a few little pieces that I have set aside, and again, I'm just kind of laying those down, seeing if they match the vibe that I'm trying to go for on this page. And none of those seem to really hit the nail on the head, so I grabbed this little pink box, and what I have in here are just a bunch of little ephemera pieces and cutouts and things. Some of these are from the paper pad that went with this uh, paper that I made the journal with, the journal pages with, and you can see that in the journal video. And then other of these are just ones that I pulled out from my different stash that I have of little pieces, and was just grabbing anything that really kind of spoke to me. That warm and cozy little sign or tag that spoke to me, so I pulled that out because that kind of went with this theme I was going with of it's so cold outside and just want to stay inside and hunker down. So I really liked having all these items in this little pink container. It made it easy to quickly go through and find some things that spoke to me that I thought I might want to use on this page. After I had pulled out the things that grabbed my attention, I now am going to start playing with those and seeing which ones I might want to use. I have some couple tags there. I got those from Your Creative Studios box and think they're absolutely gorgeous. So playing around with those, and that warm and cozy little word tag there. I really liked that. So yeah, just trying to figure out what I want to put on this page. I have pulled out one of my button envelopes, and I did a video on how I used my inks to color these button envelopes and repurpose them. And I had this little cut apart, and this was from a Sweet Pea Curiosities digital kit, and so I glued that to the front of this envelope to cover up the Talbots, and I actually made it into a little pocket. And so we have a pocket on top of the pocket, and I thought that was really cute. And I couldn't tell if that was on camera, so again, I'm just kind of showing you the pocket right there. And I'm going to glue that down onto the page. And the other thing is, I mentioned that warm and cozy tag, so I tore around and made it into a circle, and I wanted to add a little matte background to that, so I took some more of that green paper and cut that or tore that out into a circle, and just making it really rough looking, so it's not a perfect circle or anything like that, but just wanted to give a little contrast behind that sign as I put it down on the page. And I really like how that came out. So just gluing that onto that green background and then putting that down on the page. And I also went ahead and I've glued down the doily, and I've glued down the bridge scorekeeping paper, and I've settled on where I wanted those. And then I also glued down the green and gold paper in the bottom right hand corner. And you can see I inked up around this, and just trying to make it look a little bit more of a circle. And then I'm going to glue this one down as well. I also got out one of my stamps. It's a script stamp or cursive, and you can see the different spots on the page where I just stamped that to give a little more character, a little more interest to the background. And then decided to glue this down as a pocket as well, so that I can put something behind there if I so choose. So I can have a pocket on the front and then a pocket behind it. And I left the top flap up because then you could also put something inside the envelope. So I don't know if that was the best decision, but it worked okay. And I end up putting a little piece of washi tape under there to kind of help hold that down, so that can flip up or down. You can see the tag there when you flip it up. And then I just got a little piece of manila. It's from a file folder, and I cut it into a tag shape and added some string onto it, and ink that up and put that down in that pocket. And now I'm adding a little washi tape, kind of ripped it in half and putting it in a couple different spots to give some interest on the page as well. And then I have that little house sticker, and I'm putting that down in the bottom corner because I really like how that works with the theme of the warm and cozy page. And then off camera, I took another remnant from that bridge score paper, and I took my inked up music paper and covered the outside of it, and then the inside is the bridge paper, and that's where I plan on doing my journaling. And I kind of folded it to where it looks just like a little envelope, and you could open it up and write on the inside. And then here I decide I'm going to put the date on the tag. So I'm just adding the date there. And sorry for my head sticking in there. Trying to do some nice cursive handwriting. So I'm really pleased with how this came out. I went ahead and also pulled out one of my wax seal stamps. I pulled out the mushroom one. So I'm trying to decide where I want to put it, and I finally decide on the left of the warm and cozy. So I'm hot gluing that down, and I'm so mad, not really, but a little irritated that I put it on sideways. So instead of the mushrooms going up and down, it's sideways. But it was hard for me to tell because of my cataract, and I didn't want to get my head in the way of the camera. But that's all right. It still looks good. I did my journaling off camera, and I just journaled about the day and kind of what all I did during the day, and a little bit about the night before. I had my granddaughter and daughter come over, and now I'm just trimming off the hanging over side of the page. And yeah, I am really proud of myself. I didn't overthink this. I It was very relaxing, even though I was filming this. It was very relaxing, and this method that I've come up with to have all these items at my ready really made the process pretty simple. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.